my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are presented by the Hula Bowl. Today, this interview is sponsored by Dreamfield Sports. Uh, they are a marketplace for student athletes that allow them to profit off of their name, image, and likeness. Check them out now at dreamfield.co for more information. Today, I have with me a player who's going to be at our event at the Hula Bowl. His name is Davonte Love Taylor. He's an offensive lineman at Florida State. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Doing all right, man. Why don't you kind of walk me through your journey a little bit? Talk to me maybe about maybe where you're from and how you got there to Florida State.
So I'm from Trinity, Florida, which is right outside of Tampa Bay. I went to Mitchell High School. I wasn't highly recruited coming out of high school. I had one FBS offer, and that was Florida International. And I was recruited by Coach Shankweiler, who was an offensive line coach at the time there. Now he's at Eastern Carolina. But I went there as a defensive lineman. Was on the defensive line for 1 year. The staff that was there got let go. And then Coach Bush Davis, he came in. And they switched me to the offensive line, where I played for Coach Mogridge for 3 years, and right now he's the offensive line coach at USF. So I started a little bit towards the end of my redshirt freshman year, rotated a lot my redshirt sophomore year. I didn't start, but I probably played about 30 or 40 snaps a game at right tackle. I made my first starts at left tackle, then switched to right tackle as a redshirt sophomore. Redshirt junior year was a full-time starter at right tackle, but rotated a little bit at left tackle. Had a decent year that year, made all conference. I planned on staying at FIU and finishing my 5th year, but my offensive line coach, he left and took the job at USF. And then my strength coach, he left as well. So I just jumped into the transfer portal as a grad transfer. The second Coach Norvell reached out to me, I told him if he would offer me a scholarship, I'd come to Florida State. Got here in January, then COVID hit, so I didn't really get to do a spring ball with the team. Had to learn the whole offense over Zoom. Came back in the fall, earned a starting job, played pretty well. Decided to come back for my 6th year, moved inside. Had a pretty good year this year, and just that's it. Now I'm getting ready for the next level.
Yeah, man, obviously getting ready for the next level, getting ready to come to our game in Orlando. So, I mean, that'll be nice to have you there. Interesting journey there. I mean, obviously, coming out of the Tampa area, ended up going to, FIU and then now at Florida State. I have in my notes that you, again, like you had mentioned, I mean, you played almost every position on that offensive line. I mean, right now, I think they have you slated at right guard. I think that's what you've played now for a little bit. What do you feel is like the best part about you as a prospect, coming into the NFL? Do you think it is that versatility, or is it maybe something else? I mean, what would you say is like the best part about your game?
I think it's the versatility and the ability to learn fast. I pretty much going into week 1 of last year, like I said, we had to learn the whole offense on Zoom. And I felt like I understood it for the most part. I didn't have a lot of missed assignments as the years went on, and even going in as a freshman and playing at FIU, I understood the playbook. That way, when it was my time to go, I was ready and I knew what I needed to know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously playing for a couple of different, schools and playing with a lot of, different guys there, under center too. So, I mean, obviously having different offensive coordinators, different, quarterbacks in that skill set. I mean, you kind of have to adjust. I mean, I know that, one of the players coming to our event, Mackenzie Milton, you were able to block for him. And obviously having played with quarterbacks that are different, that offer those different skill sets, you kind of have to adjust. So how have you taken that and maybe how has that helped your game?
It's helped a lot. I feel like I've played with every style of quarterback. My freshman year I played with Alex Magoo, and he can sit back there, but he's an athlete too. Like he can run. And then I played with with James Morgan, and he'd sit in the pocket all day. He wasn't going to run unless he absolutely had to, and he'd sit back there. Didn't matter where the pressure was coming from, he was staying in the pocket, and we knew that. And then playing with James Blackman, who was more of a pocket guy, Jay Trav, who can run really well, and then McKenzie, who can do it all. You never know what you're gonna get with him. He just makes it happen. So, I feel like there isn't a style of quarterback I haven't played with.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, I mean, playing for like all these different guys. I mean, obviously, you've been there, you've seen it all. So you've seen people with a lot of magic, a lot of great, talent. Guys that are, kind of your stereotypical pocket passers, and then also the guys that just kind of, are very mobile, and so you kind of have to be on your toes. So does that kind of, put like maybe a clock in your head, like as an offensive lineman, hey, I gotta hold out on my block for at least a couple more seconds because I know this guy can do something?
Yeah, for sure. And when you have guys that can run, they can get outside the pocket, and you don't want to extend and get a holding call once they try to leave, because the D linemen are going to try and chase after them. So you can feel the pocket kind of move. You kind of want to let go or run your feet more.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, another thing too, obviously that I'm sure has developed over the years, as is you as a player, kind of breaking down film. And so I want you to just kind of take a moment and kind of reflect on that, and maybe tell me how that has really helped you as a football player. Maybe even give me an example if you don't mind.
So it's helped me a lot, especially over the years, just learning different concepts. And it's like a week by week thing, because every team has their own special blitzes. And, there's always giveaways, whether it's the safety alignment or whether it's the corner into the boundary with the safety over the top, the corner's coming. Or if it's, I believe, when we played Florida a couple weeks ago, when they went to a wide front, so 2-3 techniques, they were more likely to bring internal pressure like a crossfire or a gut X, whatever you want to call it. So it's week by week. You learn something different every week.
And what about you in the weight room? I mean, how have you developed, over the years in that regard? And maybe even if you want to share like your favorite lift in the weight.
For me, my favorite lift is probably bench press. But, over the years, just developing and learning how to translate the weight room onto the field, not just going in there to lift weights, but lifting properly, and seeing how doing one lift can relate to you and your stance and things like that.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and kind of talk about you on the field there. Maybe give me like your like a very memorable moment or a highlight of your career. Is there maybe a play that kind of sticks out?
There's a couple. I'll do one from each school. At FIU, we were playing Miami, and it was early in the game, and I think it was a 3rd and long. We called it screen pass, and I kicked out of safety. I got out. We kicked out of safety for a touchdown. And the screen pass, they were top 5 in the country, I believe, in sacks at that time. And the screen pass, that was in the first quarter. It slowed them down for the rest of the game, and we ended up winning that game. And then the second one would probably be against Miami again, but here, we had a 4th and 14 and a 2-minute drill to go and win the game. And we got down to the 1-yard line. We got the first down, then ran a quarterback sneak in to win it.
Nice. I mean, nice to be able to again, like, have success at both of those two schools for sure. So I also wanted to ask you a little bit about I mean, obviously, having a lot of different coaches over the years. I mean, you've had some guys really kind of instill a lot into you, kind of make you into the player and man that you are today. What's been like the best lesson you've ever learned from a coach?
I'll give you 2. The first one is when you're getting coached hard, they're not attacking the person, they're attacking the action. So, that's just something for like the young players, that get upset when they're getting coached hard. They're not attacking you as a person, they're attacking what you did. And they're coaching you because they want you to fix it, and they believe in you and that you can fix it. So that's probably the first lesson. And the second is that the best ability is availability. That's why I try to be as versatile as possible. If you can play all 5 positions, it's going to be hard to keep you off the field. So always try, even if you're a receiver, try to learn all the spots. If you're a running back, maybe try to learn a little bit of slot, even fullback, tight end, try to learn a little bit of receiver, always keep yourself available.
Gotcha. So are you kind of even taking some spots like there at center, like when you're practicing? Are you practicing that?
Yeah, I've been practicing snapping a lot.
Nice. I mean,
Whatever can get you.
yeah. I mean, it's good to have that in your tool belt. Like if they need you in it,
Yeah.
it's always a good thing. So, I do want to get a chance to meet Devontay Love Taylor outside of a football player. So, talk to me a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind. Hobbies, interests, talents, anything unique, special about yourself that you want to share.
I love sports. When I'm done, I want to kind of get into sports broadcasting or coaching. I haven't really decided yet, but I had a NIL deal with a company up here called War Chant. They report on Florida State and everything. And once a week, I would do a talk show where fans would be able to ask me questions and I'd answer. And, a lot of the stuff would be personal. It'd be about personnel. It'd be about the team that week, or it'd just be about X's and O's. So, I did that this past fall and I loved it. I love just getting a chance to interact with the fans and to talk about football outside of the stadium, just with people who didn't really understand football the way I did. And I love talking about sports. I love watching basketball. I love being a fan. During our bye week, I literally just sat on the couch all day and watched football and got to be a fan. And it was great.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to sit down and actually be a fan, for sure. So,
Yeah.
Obviously getting, sitting down, watching stuff on TV, you got like a favorite movie or TV show that you like to watch?
I watch a lot of like crime shows, I like Law and Order, SVU, NCIS. I like Power on Stars.
Right.
Came out. I like watching that.
Nice.
Marvel guy. I love Marvel movies.
Gotcha. So if we're looking at the Marvel movies, is there maybe like a particular, person there in the Marvel universe that you kind of connect with? Like if you could be one character in the Marvel universe, who would it be?
If I could be one, it would probably be Thor, just because, like you can just make lightning strike, like, and you can just like go stick your hand up in the air and a hammer is just gonna fly into it. Like that's.
Yeah, why
That's
not?
great.
I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. So I mean, big awesome dude. So, hey, as we begin to wind down, I do want you to basically address all the scouts out there, give them your pitch as to maybe perhaps why they should really be paying attention to you, and maybe even give you that opportunity at the next level, draft you, sign you. And what you would bring to their franchise. So go ahead and hit them with your pitch.
I've been a part of two programs that have had to go through turnaround stages, and here at FIU, when the new staff came in, I think we were 3-7, and then 2 years later we were 9-4. When I got to Florida State, they were going through a lot, and we were able to turn around this year. So I've been through the lowest of programs and I've been able to fight through and stay the course. And then also, my versatility, I've played almost everywhere on the offensive line except for center, and I'm learning that right now. And my knowledge of the game, I've learned a lot. I've been with a lot of great coaches. I played for Coach Butch Davis, who's a legend in South Florida and all across the country. And then Coach Norvell, he's on his way to being one of the best coaches in college football. And so, like, I've just taken a lot from them, and my football IQ has grown.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you actually sitting down with me and kind of talking to me about you and your journey. Really looking forward to seeing you in Orlando, Florida at the Hula Bowl. Again, nice to have you on, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
Sure. Once again, this is Devontay Love Taylor. He's offensive lineman at Florida State. This interview was sponsored by Dreamfield Sports. And you could see, once again, I mean, obviously, Devontay Love Taylor and a lot of other stars coming to Orlando, Florida to the Hula Bowl on January 15th. Book your tickets now on Ticketmaster.com. Thanks.